On this week's Howl, parishioners rallied together on campus.
And we get a chance to sit down with activist and graduate students Virginia Necochea.
I'm Adriana Medina.
And I'm Travis Gonzalez.
ASUNM passed a resolution Wednesday calling for closer communications between the New Mexico Archdiocese and the Aquinas Newman Center. This decision comes as a result of last January's decision by the Archdiocese to change the staff at the center. Members of the Newman Center gathered Thursday evening for a prayer vigil. Senator Jerry Ortiz-Pino attended the event and said the community is owed an explanation for the decision, saying this has been our family's parish for at least 30 years. This is our community. It's just hard to have a conversation when one side doesn't want to talk. Last week, the state legislature passed Senate Bill 347, increasing the lottery scholarships required credit hours from 12 to 15. Travis Gonzalez got a chance to speak with a part-time working student to see how this change will affect her.
With a raise in the hour requirements from 12 to 15 for the lottery scholarship, students who go to school and work jobs may see a higher workload in coming semesters. Caitlin Thornton, a junior pre-pharmacy student and ASUNM senator, stays busy with 15 credit hours per semester and her 25-hour-a-week part-time job.
And then I have classes up until around 3 usually, and after that I either work at Papado or I do something with Senate. It just depends on the day.
Thornton said the raise in hour requirements is a good idea because it will push students to graduate sooner.
I think it's a good idea because then people are required to graduate within a smaller time period rather than dragging out their studies.
The change in hour requirements will not affect Thornton due to prior scholarships and her goal to graduate quickly.
It doesn't really affect me because in order for me to pay for college, I have another scholarship. So that scholarship actually requires me to obtain a 3.0 GPA and 15 credit hours every semester.
Working a part-time job and maintaining scholarship requirements is something she has become accustomed to,
I do what
Thornton
I
said.
do because in order to pursue my degree in pharmacy, I have to keep good grades, and in order to stay up with the program I'm in right now, I need to complete 15 credit hours, if not more, every semester.
This has been Travis Gonzalez reporting for The Howl.
According to a recent study by the Office of Enrollment Management, 62% of New Mexico high school graduates who receive the lottery scholarship graduate in 6 years. And a similar study by New Mexico State University data shows that raising the hour requirement for the scholarship would negatively impact 69% of eligible minority students. Joining us to discuss the scholarship today is Virginia Necochea, a UNM graduate student and an activist for the New Mexico Coalition for Equity and Justice. In previous interviews with the Lobo, you've been vocal about the impact an increase in required credit hours for the lottery scholarship would be for minority students. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, one thing that I want to definitely clarify is that it's not just for minority students. The impact will actually be across the board. But the data that we have and research that we have from, particularly New Mexico State University, it does show that the most impacted, negatively impacted, would be minority students, Hispanic students, low-income students, with changes in course load. And what was interesting when we look at the data is if you compare, the impact, if you look at GPA versus course load requirements, the one that had a more significant impact was actually the increase in course load. It wasn't the GPA, although it would have an impact. The one that would have most was course load. And I think that's a very important point, is that this would be an impact across all students, regardless of ethnicity. But in particular, though, the most significant impact is for minority students, low-income Hispanic students.
The men's basketball team will head to Nevada to play the Wolfpack on Sunday. This will be the second time this season the two have met, with the last game going to the Lobos winning 90-72 earlier in February.
Thanks for joining us for this week's Howl. I'm Adriana Medina.
And I'm Travis Gonzalez.
See you next week.